Hello and welcome to the World Builders Library. Today we're doing a little character work. Anybody remember Gabe? Will I remember to add a link to the previous video? Both of these things are highly suspect. Our first write-up of the Eldritch Knight was about a year ago. The DMG was just out, but we skipped bastions. He was our first extended character build. We jumped from 7-minute videos to 20-minute videos. We talked a lot about personality, background, and setting. I'm Lewis Nichols, and today we have a few specific goals. We're taking Gabe up to 7th level, and we're going to talk about him as an NPC, but in a more generic sense. We're not talking about his level 1 through 5 details, except where they are relevant. It's completely up to you if you pause and watch the other video first. Speaking of first things first. I have this rare chance to correct one of my mistakes. In that original video, I stated fighters get proficiency in strength and dex saves. I went on at some length about how awesome it was to get that bonus in dex. They don't get a bonus in dex. Instead, it's strength and constitution. Now for an Eldritch Knight, that's still pretty good, because it gives them an edge on concentration checks. 7th level, here we come. At 6th level, fighters get sort of a bonus ASI/feat. Well, I mean, it's not sort of a feat, it is a feat. Just most classes get them at 4 and then they get at 8. Fighters get an extra one wedged in. What were Gabe's feats? He had skilled for the shopkeeper background, plus another skill as a human. Speaking of human, that's a bonus feat, which he chose as alert. At 4th level, he took actor for thematic reasons. At 6th level, then this took forever to choose. I decided to go with sentinel. I had to get that point of strength for him, but what sold me was the way that our root character operates. Sentinel reduces the odds of somebody escaping his grasp. Lookouts can't sound an alarm. You get the idea. And honestly, it's just a really good feat. There's no reason to defend it. At 7th level, Gabe gets the subclass ability of War Magic. This lets him substitute an attack with a cantrip. It's good for range, maybe some true strike shenanigans. Still, usually, he's just going to smack you with that longsword. More spells? Yes, thank you. Gabe moves up to 5 prepared spells and has 2 2nd level slots now. His usual prepared list is now Shield, Featherfall, Fog Cloud, Invisibility, and Mirror Image. Although there may be some other ones just as tempting that he subs in from time to time. How about a skills roundup? One of the things I didn't do very well in that last video was talk about Gabe's skills. So let's tie that up. Fighters get good choices, and Gabe went with Perception and Athletics. For being human, he got a bonus skill, for which he chose Stealth. Also for being human, he received an extra origin feat, which was Skilled. That netted him Investigation and Deception. Finally, for his background, he got Persuasion and Insight. That's a lot, but he's definitely a skills-based guy, and hopefully he doesn't forget about Tactical Mind, where he can use Second Wind to add a D10 to 3 or more skill checks per day. I could see him going Skill Expert at 8th and then dipping into Rogue. The more I work with Gabe, the more I want to play him. Combat Assessment. Gabe has gained a point of attack and damage from a strength increase. I'm also not stingy with +1 weapons, and he has a magical longsword now. For the record, in the constant battle of keeping PCs in check, it's armor and shields that I tend to hold back on. If I've done the math right, Gabe's attack is now at a +8. That's about a 75% chance to hit mid ACs and a 40% chance to hit high ones. His damage is the D8 longsword +7 for an average of 12. That's pretty good, really. He's reliably doing 16 points of damage in a non-surge round. He has 2 attacks per round with sap, so odds are pretty good the next attack against him will be at disadvantage. His AC in chainmail is a 15, but he can plate up for 20. Shield, which he will spam if needed, adds +5. If he has any preparation at all, count on a mirror image. He's a real problem for the bad guys. Bastions. Let's just jump in with the library's first ever custom bastion. It's the hidey hole. You can also call it a safe house or a hideout. This is a special facility not attached to the player's central bastion. For Gabe, I see him ducking through a sewer grate, shooting down a block, and slipping through a secret door. The space is cramped, but it can stock enough rations to last him a week. Anybody searching for the hideout is at disadvantage in investigation, perception, or other checks in their attempts. Meanwhile, he doesn't have to make any checks for rests while he's in the hole. His second specialty facility is a storehouse, acting as part of his business. This gives him a follower and a little bump to his income. Our original version of Gabe is still waiting on the heroes to find him. I still believe that my PCs will eventually travel to the Delta Coast and his home of Vico Marino. There is work to be done there. However, they have recently scored a major victory against Dagon's Cabal, so they might accidentally get caught up in an entirely different quest line. In the meantime, Gabe fits into my plans to develop a line of generic NPCs. As a leveled shopkeeper, he could fit anywhere. We can modify him as needed. I think of him as a little bit of a Luthen from the Star Wars series Andor. He's in over his head, taking on forces far beyond him, but willing to risk his life even though he will never get credit. There is no glory for Gabe. Now we can scale this down. He can just be a merchant who knows a lot about a local legend and/or crime networks. He might also be completely delusional, taking on a life's quest to end a threat that doesn't even exist. His core traits are paranoia, asking questions, and his twitch. His paranoia shows itself in the way he's always looking over his shoulder, checking windows, and a distrust of ravens or any other animal that might be a spy. In asking questions, it's always, why? Sometimes he'll just mutter to himself, why? The twitch can be subtle or a major tick. I'll usually go somewhere in between. I might use this guy when I have something to reveal in-game or just want to mess with the players. They walk into a shop and he smiles. Ah, that's why. What can I do for you? Wouldn't be looking for any new jobs as he checks the windows carefully. I might know a little something. Or it might be the party chasing a lead. The bartender tells them, Gabe's a little twitchy, but he knows his stuff. Just don't tell him that I sent you. There's a lot of ways you can go. Just remember, this is part of a planned strategy to help us introvert DMs. You're creating someone you can drop into a situation, then use them to expedite lore or plot points. They might be a quest giver or even a patron, but mostly they are one of a handful of shopkeepers that you'll use again and again in campaigns over your decades as a DM. I hope you enjoyed it, my friends. I sure did like having you around. You are all great people, and the world is a better place with you in it. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Cheers. All right. And just like that, your recording is done for